Hi guys, so I'm back today to do kind of the second part of the Thrift Books haul. I also have another unboxing of a deck that I've been waiting to come in. And I found a couple things that I want to show you from Home Goods because I had to go there to see if the Halloween stuff was out yet. I try to, around this time of year, keep checking in because their stuff is amazing and they always have really good deals on it. It's usually really, I don't want to say cheap because that always sounds bad, but they have excellent deals on their Halloween stuff. Whew. So I always make sure I get there early because once it's out, it's out. So let me show you that part of it first to get that out of the way. I only got a couple things. I did good because their Halloween stuff is not out on the shelves yet. So I should have probably turned around and left, but of course I had to look a little bit. I always look on their clearance shelves and I always do really well. This is one of the things I found on the clearance shelf. I figured this would be a great God offering dish. I paid $8 for this. So yay. I love it. I love it. It couldn't be more cool as far as I'm concerned. I got this journal that says Positive Vibes. And it's got several sections to it. And I figured I could use this as a new tarot journal. This will not be, I always do a tarot journal through winter, and this will not be that because I kind of, get one around Halloween that is dark and spooky and shadow worky because I think I've said this before, I do a lot of shadow work in the wintertime because just throws me into shadow. The dark time in the winter, I feel like I'm cooped up some and it's a good time for me to really look inward. So one more thing. I got, these are little moonlights, crescent moonlights. Are they not the cutest things? I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this. I'll put them around my altar or something. I don't know if you can see, I paid $8 for these. But I just thought they were great. So I think I am going to probably put them around my altar. Love them. I thought that was a great idea. Okay, so let me go through the thrift books and then I'll end with the unboxing of the new deck. So unfortunately, it's too bad that a lot of times the thrift books, sometimes I can get them, it'll say a go green option and it has more than one book in it. And I feel bad when it doesn't because I end up getting all of these different packages. But, oh well, there's only so much you can do, I guess. So the first one is Northern Magic, Rune Mysteries and Shamanism by Edred Thorson. Ooh, that glare. There we go. So this says, high praise for Northern Magic, which I hate when they do this. They do a review on the back instead of saying what it's about. So do they have a wrap up? Here we go. A complete guide to the Teutonic mysteries. In Northern Magic, Edred Thorson opens up a completely new area of Nordic magical lore, and as well that of the Vikings. Here he ably explains the difference between Satyr and Galdr, which is S-E-I-D-R and G-A-L-D-R. So I guess, even though that is my heritage, I am Viking and also Irish, so I always say, and English. So I always say I am a Viking Druid. What was the other thing? Viking Druid Priestess of Avalon. There you go. Anyways, here he ably explains the difference between Satyr and Galdr and includes in-depth explanations and analysis of the meaning of the Viking Futhark runes as distinct from the better-known common Germanic ones. Practical training is often offered in constructing Viking Galdor Stefan for the first time ever. Wow, I don't even know what that is, so I have a lot of reading to do. One is instructed how to communicate with one's fetch animal, in quotations. Furthermore, Edred introduces the old Germanic hexcraft, better known in the U.S. as Pennsylvania Dutch. This section is a crash course in practical magic in itself. The last section in this book is devoted to a discussion of the Germanic Renaissance in the most forthright and courageous way ever. This book, more than any of his others, is written with real feeling as well as with his usual intelligence, and therefore is appealing to both mind and heart. It can no longer be denied that Edred Thorson is the leading adept in the Germanic mysteries. Freya Aswin, author of Northern Mysteries and Magic. So I have, a library full of pagan books, and I have sections for Celtic books. I have a section for the Viking books, or the Viking mystery part of magic, and then of course I have a section for my Avalon tradition books, as well as many others, but I always try to get Viking and Celtic in there. And then, oh yes, and I have an Egyptian section too, because I am drawn to a couple Egyptian goddesses, Sekhmet and Maat. Maat is two of the ones that I'm really drawn to. So this is the goddess Sekhmet, Psycho-Spiritual Exercises of the Fifth Way by Robert Masters. I love Sekhmet. So this, once again, has reviews on the back. So annoying. And it has acknowledgments. All right. Well, I will tell you, cool, already, there is a bunch of pictures in this book, which, I'm not a child, but I like pictures as much as the next person. So, I can't remember what the description said when I got this, but I know I was really excited to get it. The Fifth Way, Psycho-Spiritual Exercises, Preliminary Remarks, Talking to the Body, Visualizing Body Movement, Images of Movement and of Touch, Freedom Through Awareness, a Practical Demonstration. So it has a whole lot of information here. Preface and words of caution, Invocation of Sekhmet, which is totally cool. The goddess Sekhmet for this book. I am the one who knows the way in and the way out. This book introduces a fifth way, the way of the 5 bodies as it was in Egypt, but also new knowledge blended with the old to open the 5th way. This book serves the purposes of Sekhmet and of humans. It fulfills the need to multiply the images of Sekhmet. Cool. So yeah, I love the old Egyptian ways are so unique and rare and wonderful looking to me. And I really, the first goddess that I ever connected to actually was Maat, who is the goddess, I'm sure I've said this before, but was the goddess of justice in the Egyptian faith. She weighed your heart with a feather and decided if you could come into the underworld. And I just really connected with her as a Libra, I'm sure partly. She dealt out justice not only as far as what happens in the underworld, but she also paid attention to what happened on Earth and was all about justice and fair living. So I really love her. Before I connected with any other goddesses, I connected with her. So just a really interesting looking book. I'm really excited to delve into that one. Introduction to Pagan Studies by Barbara Jane Davy. And, you know, I personally feel like I will never stop studying this path. Since I decided to become a pagan, have become a sponge, and I try to read as much as I possibly can, because I feel like everybody has a different take on things and everybody looks at things a little differently. So beginners books, to me, I don't care. Not only am I, you know, creating a library for pagan studies, but I don't ever kind of think, well, that's beneath me, I'm beyond that. Because I really feel like everybody has something different to contribute. And maybe they'll say something that makes me look at something a whole different way, that I didn't look at it before. So this probably is a beginner's kind of book, but it says, Pagan Studies is maturing and moving beyond the context of new religious movements to situate itself within the study of world religions. Introduction to Pagan Studies is the first and only text designed to introduce the study of contemporary paganism as a world religion. It examines the intellectual, religious, and social spheres of paganism through common categories in the study of religion, which include beliefs, practices, theology, ritual, history, and the role of text and scriptures. The book is accessible to readers of all backgrounds and religions and assumes no prior knowledge of paganism. This text will also serve as a general introduction to pagan studies for non-specialist scholars of religion. It will be of interest to academics in the related disciplines of anthropology, sociology, and cultural studies, as well as students taking courses in religious studies, pagan studies, nature religion, new religious movements, and religion in America. This book will also be useful to non-academic practitioners of paganism interested in current scholarship. The author, Barbara Jane Davy, holds a PhD in religion from Concordia University in Montreal. And it says, you know, some of the other things that she's done. So it is kind of small print, a little clinical looking. So this is probably a book I'm not going to read all the way through. But I like reading about the history of paganism and, you know, Gardner and, you know, all the people, Starhawk, all the people who, you know, really started for us. There she is, right? Starhawk. For us, all the people who started the modern movement. So that's a good one. The Guises of the Morrigan. Irish goddess of sex and battle, her myths, powers, and mysteries. By David Rankine and Sarita Deste. So, the Morrigan is the preeminent and most powerful of the Celtic goddesses. She is the bestower of sovereignty, and it is she who shapes the land and rules the fairy as the queen. She is a goddess of both sex and battle, and she uses her potent magic and sorcery to shapeshift, assuming the forms of numerous wild animals. In this book, the many parallels between the Morrigan and other goddesses and figures from British and Gaelic folklore, including Morgan Le Fay, the Banshee, Black Annis, Danu, Epona, Grian, Madrin, Nantu Sulta, and Rhiannon are explored. Her manifold roles, titles, and guises weave a rich and colorful tapestry showing the continued dominion of the Morrigan in mythology, folklore, and literature. So it kind of talks about all the different ways that the Morrigan has been known. Ooh, that's a cool little picture. The War with the Furbolgs. Anytime, you know, there's a book about Morgan or Morgaine or whatever, I always try to put that in my collection because, of course, I really love that path, and I love studying about that path. Okay, oh, of course, I got book 3 first. Okay, so this is it's a trilogy of books by Chase Clifton. And I have the other 2 coming, and of course, I'm going to get the 3rd one first. But this one, let's see if I can see. Okay, so the first one is called Witchcraft Today, Book 1, The Modern Craft Movement. So that talks about, you know, the history of witchcraft, where it came from, and then where we are now. Witchcraft Today, Book 2 is Modern Rites of Passage, and then Book 3 is Witchcraft and Shamanism. So I got the entire series coming. What happened to Western shamanism? So this one just says, these enlightening essays explore myriad aspects of the shamanistic movement while revealing how and why shamanism is a natural adjunct to witchcraft. Witchcraft and shamanism is an invaluable examination of the spiritualities that continue to grow in interest and numbers. And that's, you know, one of the things that I really wish is that witches in America and elsewhere would feel like they could step up and say that they were witches or pagans or however you want to identify yourself, because it would be great to really know the numbers. I think the numbers are way higher than anybody thinks, but because of the previous stigma against us, you know, it's kind of kept in the closet, which I would just really love to know what the real numbers are. So, on to the unboxing. I got this deck from the Modern Mystic shop. So anytime that you're looking for out-of-print decks, or they have independent decks that they sell. Hello, Jennifer. Well, hello to you too. We hope these cards bring you lots of magic. Modern Mystic shop. So again, not only an independent deck, but I love when, you know, the little shops, you can get them at a little shop, because there's always those added little cute touches, and they're always really wonderfully wrapped, and that's great. So this is the Oracle of the Oddities, 2nd edition. Now, I believe that the 3rd edition is out now, which I will be getting after my August sabbatical is done with. And I would like to try to find the 1st edition, because from what I understand, they really kind of go along together, even though I believe there's some of the same cards in each. Ooh, come on. Okay, so Oracle of the Oddities, 2nd edition. I try to open it from the bottom, because a lot of times, there we go. The bottom is a little easier to open. There we go. And they're wrapped again, which is fine. Just I have to use my teeth on camera, which you guys are probably used to by now. But I try not to, you know, get my deck wet. Come on. Sorry. I'm sure you guys love to sit and watch me pick plastic out of my teeth. Okay, hold on. I got them. They're open. Here we go. Anyways, I believe some of the cards are the same throughout the editions, but I did hear someone say that they kind of stack onto one another. I'm so excited because I love the macabre stuff, and these are also beautiful. As far as I'm concerned, these are gorgeous. Okay, so beauty. Empathy. All right, I'm gonna have to look at them first. Apathy. Separation. Oh, look at that card. So there is no book to these. At least there's nothing included here, and I haven't seen anybody talk about a book. Whoops. Eternity. But I believe that these cards really are some of those that speak for themselves. Security. I mean, talk about security. What could be more secure than in that womb? It's gorgeous. Gluttony. What a cool image. Toxic. That is great. Something that you guys may not know about me is that I have one kidney. I was born with one kidney. It's a little bit bigger apparently than normal kidneys, but I was only born with one, and I was born with 2 uteruses, which kind of formed into one cervix, so it was like heart-shaped. And apparently that goes together, which is why I say that, because apparently medically something happens. I don't know if the kidney drops down and forms a uterus. I don't know. But apparently that is fairly normal. I've never had any problems because of it, but, you know, it's something I have to watch out for, I guess, sometimes. So, anger. Woo-wee. That's a great card for anger. Ooh, can you hear Thor out there? Death. Gorgeous card for death. Oh, come on. Union. I absolutely love these cards. I may have to get the tarot deck that goes with them too, like this. Power. I believe that's probably my husband's phone if you hear that in the background. He never brings it with him. Imagination. That is a cool card. Gorgeous. Knowledge. I so love these cards. Oh, come on. There we go. What's with my camera lately? Explore. Observe. That is a good. This is one of the cards that made me want this deck so bad. What an incredible, striking image. Listen. Transformation. Really cool card there too. You know, most people do transformation as the butterfly, but, you know, this is the human transformation. Both from life into death, from death into a tree, from a tree back into life. And the dragonflies, just a gorgeous image. Divinity. Okay. I admit, the first time I saw that, when I just glanced down, I thought it was giving me the finger. Friendship. Oh, what a cute card. I love this deck. Life. God. Goddess. Nexus. Support, which is great if you know. I don't know, maybe you guys don't know what these are too. I'm an x-ray tech, so I know what all of the bones are, and it makes more sense when you know what the bones are, so maybe I should have been saying that, but like this is the lumbar spine, which supports your entire body and does a very good job of supporting your entire body. Opposition. Lust. That's pretty awesome looking. My husband just pulled in. Revelation. Reward. And whew, powerful. Pain. So that is it, guys. We are at the end of the story for today. I hope everyone's having a good week. Thank goodness, it's almost Friday. I have one more day to get through. I have a half a day of regular work, and then I have a half day of training tomorrow. So hopefully, once again, I'll stay awake. Blessings, guys.